Hello YouTube, welcome back. Happy Wednesday morning here. Obviously you can see Constitution in front of you. I moved it up from the hobby room, now at the house, and you can see I've got this nice side table by the desk that I've been working on and on. The reason for this is it's ultimately going to be displayed over there on that big table there, so I didn't want to get all the rigging and everything done and then have to move it, because then you got a higher chance of something breaking. So I brought it up here when I just had the hull completed, and I've been working on it for about a week up here. And let me zoom in here, because it's the only way I can get it all in frame if it's way far back. So let me zoom in here and I'll show you what I've done. First of all, you can see the railings. They're not very even, and then I'm not too happy with it. I just think if they would have done plastic railings, it would have been fine, but you know, whatever. There's string, and then you have the stanchions you have to do, and I was just over it by the time I got done with it. So all the way back, I've been chasing around loose cannons, literally. They'll pop loose and I have to reglue them. That one looks loose. Nope, that's good. And then I've been working on the bowsprit here, and I had that. The bowsprit really adds to it, and it's almost a third longer now. It's made up of plastic, and that's seized on for show. That cross piece is seized on for show. It sticks out there. But down here, it does plug into the bow underneath this cover. But the seizing is really, it is kind of structural, so that's nice. And then I'm working on the masts here. I'll show you. There's also a giant cat. So here we are. I'm on 32. I don't remember what mast this is. I think it's a 4-mast. So we'll do the 3 masts in the yards, and then you're pretty much done after that. It just shows you put the masts on, then you're onto the rigging, which is a 2 separate books. So you got to do the running rigging. Well, you do the standing rigging first. And the rat lines. And then I'm going to do the running rigging, less the sails. So that's what we're doing. I've got to do some paint touch-ups. You can see like down here where it's smudged. Just going to do some paint touch-ups. There's spots on the hull plating that need touched up. And then I have to make a pin rail. I've got to scratch the pin rail, so like this pin rail down in here, I'll have to scratch build one. It'll just be a piece of sheet styrene with bits of wire through it, so it won't be too hard. Actually, I've already got practice. You can see this this right here. I cut all the plastic posts off and replaced it with metal, so it'll just be similar to that, and it will go in here on this bulkhead. Once that's done and it's painted, I will go ahead and put a flat coat on it. So I wanted a flat coat just to tie everything together, because there's painted parts, there's unpainted parts. The boats are unpainted, you can see. Some of this brown pieces are unpainted. All the cannons are unpainted. The masts are unpainted. So I wanted a flat coat to tie it all together. I wanted a really dull coat because it's a ship. And had to be water-based acrylic, so my friend from the group, Ken, I believe. Yes, I'm actually positive. It's a little early. So my friend Ken sent me a bottle of this Ammo by MIG Ultra Matte Lucky Varnish, water-based acrylic airbrush. And it's flat from what I've seen. It's really flat. So that'll go on there. The reason it had to be water-based is because there's just so many different chemicals on this thing. Like the gold hull, which is actually supposed to be more of a copper color, but I did gold because I didn't have any, and they were kind of gold platers, if you know what that means in nautical terms, and you'll know it's basically what it means is it's a ship for, it's an expensive ship, mainly for showing the flag, but can also be useful in battle. I mean, Constitution obviously did well in all of its engagements, so, but some of its sisters did get captured and or sunk. So they were really gold platers. I mean, they were large frigates. The Royal Navy had a problem with how large of a frigate it was. But, I mean, there's not really much they could have done about it, so. And we still have a Constitution to this day in Boston, Mass. So I will be using this. The problem is it's airbrush, so I will have to take it back to the hobby room, spray it, and then bring it back up here. What I'm going to do is, once I finish the mass separate, I'll just take all the parts down there, spray them, bring it back up here, and put the masts on, and then we'll be on to the rigging. If I work through it today, I could probably get the mast assembly done. And then tomorrow I could do the paint touch-ups and the flat coat. And then it will be on to the rigging, and then hopefully I'd like to get this done before school starts in August. I've been working on it at night after work and things, so it's been going a lot quicker. The thing that slowed me down the most was the railings, so kind of glad that's done. Also forgot to mention the anchors. I really enjoyed the anchors, and they look nice. What I did with the rope is folded it over, you can see, and then I super glued it before I seized it, just to make sure, because I don't trust that little string. So just a little super glue, and it worked just fine. It's a natural fiber rope, I guess, because it almost cured instantly. Alright, so that's the Constitution update. Working on that, hopefully get it done as say if I get 2 weeks of solid work, I could get it done. I don't want to push myself for that, because then I'm inclined to mess up. I'm gonna make sure everything's solid before I start the railing, you know, or the rigging, and then that'll be my focus. Will be rigging. So, all right. So that's Constitution. All right. So if you remember last year, I bought this kit. Let me move it back. Her back. I bought this kit, my first Johan, Plymouth Superbird. This is the second issue, and it shows the petty car, and then on the side it's got the 40 car, which is really, I really like that with the Dayglow nose on there, a vermilion nose actually. Sorry. It's got the 7-Up sponsor on the back. This is my first Johan I bought. I bought it probably spring last year. I don't remember. All complete. And by the way, this bubble wrap and everything is how it came packed, so kudos to the seller. But there's your Roadrunner body. And it's in this off-white color. Which a lot of people get like orange and kind of a petty blue, and mine is in the standard off-white, so this might be a later 70s run of the second issue. So, but I'm actually going to start on this hopefully soon. Once I get everything done that I'm currently doing. That's be the Constitution, the Henschel, which I haven't even worked on since I brought this up here, and then that big P3, which is a simple kit. It won't take long. Like a week of good, steady building will get it done completely. Once I get everything done, this is next. And I am super excited. It'll be my first Johan kit. And my favorite car of all time, Superbird. My favorite race car is the Mazda 787, the Le Mans car with the 4 rotors. That thing is awesome. But this is my favorite car of all time, Superbird. So yeah, I think I might do the 40, might do the 43, not sure. I'll have to get new decals. Well, maybe not. Let me look at them. I haven't seen them in a while. There's all your pieces, parts. Tires are in halves, but much you can do about that. Let me dig the instructions out. Okay, here's the book. No, it's not really a book. Instruction sheet. You know, standard Johan 2-sided leaflet from what I've got experience in. And it's got paint callouts. And here's the decals. They actually don't look too bad now that I look at them. I might be able to use them. Walker Jacks. That's what that says. I think if I put these up in the window just to get rid of some of the staining, and then put some microset, what is it called? Decal restored film on it. I think these might be viable. Only problem is I really like that 40 car, but there's no 40 decals, which is okay. I mean, I do the 43 too. It's actually a little bit simpler scheme. Actually, I might end up using these. These look good. Let me know what you think. They're not cracked or anything that I could see. Not at all. And they're really not stained all that much either. Unlike old monogram decals, I've got a 1995 Dale Earnhardt kit in my NASCAR collection. Sealed. But I can guarantee you, if I open that up, the decals will be oxidized. It's actually a rust. It's the brown stuff that's on it. It's an oxidization. I can guarantee you that they will be the old monogram decals. And it's a sealed kit, still in the plastic. Yeah, that's my Roadrunner Superbird. The reason I mention it is because I got another Johan. So this is 62 Plymouth hardtop. I really kind of dig this car. This is a 1974 reissue. I like the box, colorful box. A reissue of the 62 annual kit. And this is the first of the B-body Mopars, actually. So the Superbird is a B-body. It's a Roadrunner. And this is 62 was the first year for the B-body Mopars. They downsized the Plymouths only to upsize them again the next year. So I really prefer the Plymouth over the 62 Dodge Dart. That thing is got a face only a mother can love. There's the cat. The whole table shook. I was like, what the heck? Yeah, I got the Plymouth Fury. And you can see here advertising some of the features. And then advertising more kits. There's the Dodge Dart, like I said. Here's the book, instructions. Pretty much the same as the Superbird, less involved. Engine, interior, and final assembly, pretty much. Here is your main. I've had it together so the glass doesn't get lost. But your body looks real nice. Your Fury emblems look nice. The only problem is that big mold seam you can see right there on the on the glare. But I think that'll come out. Of course, this one is the same color as my Superbird. Actually, it's a little bit whiter, but it's still kind of an off-white. But the big thing about Johan that everybody always talks about, of course, is the bodies are nice. And I will agree there. It looks good. And the fact that they, in the later years, which this one's a 74 and the Superbird first issue was in 72. The first run of that second issue, I mean, was in 72. But in the later years, they put out all these crazy colors, and I've yet to have one that was like that. This kit was sealed when I got it a few days ago. And then there's really not much to the kit. There's your chrome tree with your grill that could stand a black wash. Here's your hood. Nice hood. Focus. Yeah, I don't think it will. There it goes. You can see the Plymouth badge there. Manifolds, your intake, radiator battery, belt and pulleys, and your head. Your interior is your block. I think this is a 318, not the 318 LA, it's a 318 Poly. Your dash, wheel backs, your torsion bars. That's a washer bag. Chassis pins to hold the body onto the chassis. Here's an example of your wheels. Nice, they're hard for sure, but nice white line wheels. There's a pretty good seam that I'll need taken care of. It won't be a problem, especially since they're so hard. It should sand right off. There's your steering wheel. That looks nice. Like a semi-gloss black, and then the leather part under here will make it a gloss black. As far as flash, this is probably the worst tree. You got your 2 axles, firewall, and your seat belts. It is kind of flashy. They use beryllium copper molds, which don't age well. They also fit the molds to their machines, which John Hanley designed, so that means that the molds can't be used with anything else, and they won't be used with anything else because all the molds have been scrapped. There's kind of a dispute right now on Johan. From what I understand, a man named Oki Spalding owns Johan. He purchased all the intellectual property and whatever equipment was left over back in like 2004, I think. And he claims that he owns Johan, which, I mean, I never met the man, so I can't speak to his character, and I won't speak to his character. That's something I refuse to do. There's also a different company, Atomic City, up in Ohio, I think near Dayton. Could be wrong on the location. They are also using Johan branding. I think the difference is a hyphen, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if that's enough for a legal distinction or not, but in my mind, Johan is pretty much gone. Unless someone puts up the money to 3D scan a kit like this and make entirely new molds that someone like Round 2 could produce, or someone, you know, someone like the guy who owned Wingnut Wings, Peter Jackson. Someone rich like that wants to buy all the intellectual property for Johan, all the branding and trademarks and whatnot, and 3D scan complete kits to make new molds. Then, as far as I'm concerned, Johan is gone. So, and I can see that there's a certain value, but at the end of the day, and yeah, they're not making anymore, for sure. At the end of the day, it's, you know, pieces of plastic. There's really not much physical value in it. I understand nostalgia has a certain value, but for looking at things just completely objectively, there is the material cost of this kit is probably, adjusted for inflation, $10 maybe. I mean, to add in the cost for the styrene, the cost for the rubber, the chrome plating, the cost to print the instructions, the cost to have the box made, and shipping for all of those. I mean, $10 might actually be on the high end because they made so many of these, you know. Everybody looks at Johan as kind of rare. I mean, they're just out of business, and it's not really. They made a lot of kits still, you know. Not as much as AMT for sure, but they still made a good amount of kits. They're out there. I see Superbirds, the second issue, on eBay all the time. There are certain ones that are, you know, one issue only that are rare, for sure, but at the end of the day, the material cost isn't that much. I think that's it. That's all for today. Join us tonight. It's Wednesday night. It's live stream night. 8 o'clock Central Daylight Time. 0100 Zulu. That's what that is, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. 5 hours, right? Yep. 0100 Zulu, 8 o'clock Central Daylight Time. Modeling with the Matt's live stream on YouTube. I'll be there. Carol's going to be there. The whole gang will be there. Join us while we build models, rank music, and just kind of BS around and join us for a couple hours. Hop in, say hi, whatever. If it's not right at 8 o'clock, we'll be there for sure. We'll be there afterwards. We're just the initial BS session is just running a little long. Around 8 o'clock to around 10 o'clock. We'll say that. I don't want to put anyone on a definite time schedule. But yeah, let me know what you think. Let you know what your commentary about price of models. Not just really your commentary on collector kits and whatnot. Let me know any tips for the rigging, and join us tonight. Love to see you. We've got people from all over. I'm in Illinois. Most of the fellas up there are in St. Louis area. We've got guy George. He's from Australia. He comments and he pops in sometimes. We've got other people from all over. So pop in, say hi, say where you're from, and yeah. So we'll see you tonight, hopefully. Let me know about this if you've built this. I really like this car now. Part of me wants to make it a Savoy with the post. I'd have to trim off all the Fury badges and put a slant 6 in it, but I don't know. I think I'll just do it out of the box. Yeah, I think I'll do it out of the box. Alright, that's enough. Have a good week. Have a good day. Build some models. Don't just collect them. Don't drive the prices up. And we'll see you soon.